James. This is a story about James the Red Engine. When he first arrived on the Sodor, he was so busy thinking about how his shiny red paintwork that he soon got himself into lots of trouble. I thought I might have to send him away. James was a new engine, and with a shiny coat of red paint. His two small wheels in front and his 6 driving wheels behind were not much smaller than Gordon, but bigger than Thomas. You're a special mixed traffic engine, Sir Topham had told James. That means you can pull either coaches or trucks. James felt very proud. Sir Topham had told James that today he was to help Edward pull coaches. You need to be careful with coaches, said Edward. They don't like being bumped. If you bump them, they'll get cross. But James was thinking about his shiny red coat, and he wasn't really listening. James and Edward took the coaches to the platform. A group of boys came to army James. I am a splendid engine, thought James. And he let out a great whoosh of steam. Everyone jumped, and a shower of water fell on Sir Topham had soaking his brand new top hat. James thought they'd better leave quickly before he got into trouble, so he pulled away from the platform. Slow down, puffed Edward, who doesn't like starting quickly. You're going too fast, grumbled the coaches. When James reached the station, he shot past the platform. His driver had to back him up so the passengers could get off the train. Sir Topham wasn't pleased. When his driver heard about this, Sir Topham won't be pleased to hear when he hears about this, his driver said. James and Edward set off again to climb a hill. It's so steep, puffed James. At last, they reached the top and pulled into the next station. James was panting so much that he got hiccups and frightened an old lady who dropped her parcels. Oh dear, Sir Topham gonna be cross her now, thought James. The next morning, Sir Topham spoke to James severely. If you don't learn to behave, I shall have to take away your red coat and paint you blue. Now run along and fetch your coaches. James was very cross. A splendid red engine like me shouldn't have to fetch their own coaches, he muttered. I'll show them how to pull coaches, he said to himself. And he sped off at top speed. The coaches grumbled and pondered as they bumped along, but James didn't want to slow down. At last, the coaches had enough. We're going to stop! They cried. They tried their mighty, and they tried as he might. James found himself going slower and slower. The driver halted the train. There's a leak in the pipe, he said. You were bumping the coaches hard enough to make a leak in anything. The guard made all the passengers get out of the train. "You, sir, give me your bootlace," he said to one of them. "I shouldn't," said the passenger. "Well then we'll just have to stop where we are now," said the guard. So the man agreed to give his bootlace to the guard. The guard would use the bootlace and tie the pipe with some newspaper around the hole to stop the leak. Now James could pull his train again, but he knew he was going to be in real trouble with Sir Topham Hatt this time. When James got back, Sir Topham Hatt was very angry at him indeed. For a few days, James was left alone in the shed, in disgrace. He wasn't allowed to pull coaches and trucks in the yard. He felt very sad. Then one morning, Sir Topham Hatt came to see him. "I see that you are sorry," he said to James. "So, do you like to pull some trucks for me?" "Oh, thank you, sir," said James, and he puffed proudly away. "Here are your trucks," "Thanks, James," said a little engine. "Have you got some bootlaces ready?" And he ran off laughing. Oh, said the trucks, as James backed down onto them. "We want a proper engine, not a red monster." James took no notice, and he pulled the screeching trucks out of the yard. James started to heave the trucks up the hill, puffing and panting, but halfway up, he lost 10. The last 10 trucks broke away and rolled back down again. His driver shut off steam. "We have to go back and get them," he said to James. James backed carefully down the hill to collect the trucks. Then with a beep beep, he set off again. I can do it, he puffed. Then, I've done it, he panted as he climbed to the top of the hill. When James got back to the station, Sir Topham Hatt was very pleased with him. "You have made the most troublesome trucks on the line behave," he said. "After that, you deserve to keep your red coat." James was very happy. He knew he was going to enjoy working on Sir Topham Hatt's railway.